Welcome to our virtual Justice on the Block clinic for Fema applications and appeals. And my name is Charlotte Waters, Communications Manager for Legal Services of North Florida. And with me today is Kathy Grunewald, Disaster Coordinator Attorney at Legal Services of North Florida as well. Hello, Kathy.
Hi, everybody.
So the first thing I want to ask you today, Kathy, is what's going on with Hurricane Sally recovery?
Oh, okay. Thanks for asking, Charlotte, because really what I want to do today is remind everybody that if you were impacted by Hurricane Sally and you live in Bay County, Escambia County, Okaloosa, Santa Rosa, or Walton counties, that the deadline is fast approaching for applying for FEMA assistance. That deadline is December 1st. Which, if you're looking at a calendar, is a week from Tuesday. And as everybody knows, Thanksgiving is coming up on Thursday. So it sort of limits your time. So if you haven't applied already, now is the time to apply. And even though the mobile registration centers that they had set up had closed, I believe, last Saturday, you can easily still apply. You can call, and we have the number at the bottom of the screen, 800-621-3362. If you have access to a computer and the internet, you can go online at disasterassistance.gov. Or if you have a smartphone, you can download the FEMA app on your smartphone, and you can apply that way. So do that before December the 1st. Or
Okay.
on December the 1st, but the sooner the better.
So it sounds like there's a lot of ways for people to access and apply for FEMA help. So what kind of assistance does FEMA provide if someone were to apply?
Okay, all right, yeah, they provide housing assistance, and that could be in the form of rental assistance, lodging expenses, home repair or replacement, or even in some instances, direct housing assistance, which would be what everybody knows as a FEMA trailer. FEMA also provides assistance for other disaster-caused necessary expenses and serious needs that you may have. And of course, you have to be eligible to be able to receive that assistance, which means that you live in one of those 5 counties that I talked about, mentioned just a few minutes ago, that you are able to, or FEMA is able to verify your identity. If you have insurance, though you're not required to have insurance to apply for FEMA assistance, but if you have insurance, that you have filed a claim with your insurance company. And the insurance company claim is not going to cover all of your needs.
Okay. So what about
one other thing? Let me. One other thing. All right, and so for some of the assistance that you get, you also have to apply for an SBA, or Small Business Administration disaster loan. A lot of people hear SBA and they immediately think of a business, but SBA disaster loans are for businesses as well as individuals. And you're not required to accept the loan, but for some kind of the assistance, for some kinds of the assistance, you are required to have applied for the loan.
Okay, so speaking of SBA loans, so, we just kind of talked about what is required. And is there any other information about what's required to apply for SBA loans?
Well, if you're going to apply for an SBA loan, it's for where you want to get additional assistance, like to repair or replace a necessary household item, or let's suppose that your vehicle got damaged, then and you wanted some assistance to repair or even replace your vehicle, you would have to apply for an SBA loan. And again, you're going to have to prove your identity. You're going to have to prove your income, your source of your income, your address, your residence, that you're living in one of the affected counties. The same things that we talked about before.
Okay, so what if a person is denied assistance from FEMA?
Okay, and that happens. So if you've been denied assistance, you're going to receive a determination letter about that. And so read it carefully. And if you think that that isn't the correct decision, that you should be receiving some assistance, then you have a 60-day window to appeal. My advice is don't wait till the 60th day. Go ahead and apply now so you can speed your recovery. Also, just because you haven't heard anything from FEMA, that's not necessarily good news. It may be that they sent a letter to an address that you didn't receive or you've had to move from. Or maybe they've tried to contact you by phone, and if you're like a lot of people, if you see a number that you don't recognize, you don't answer your phone. So just call FEMA at the number that we're giving you below and ask them what the status is of your application. So you'll know what's going on, and you can figure out where you need to go from there to appeal or what your time frame is.
Okay, and are there any reasons that there may be a reducive claim for assistance?
Well, like for example, if you applied for insurance and you're getting some money to cover the expenses, you also maybe applied for FEMA assistance. Well, FEMA is not going to duplicate the assistance that your insurance company gives you. So that would be one reason. And of course, any assistance that you ask for or any need that you ask for to be covered by FEMA has to be directly caused by this disaster. And the disaster we're talking about today is Hurricane Sally.
Okay, excellent. So as you guys can see down at the bottom, there are two numbers that we want to make sure that you guys are aware of. To get the status of your FEMA application, you can go to you can call 1-800-621-FEMA or 1-800-621-3362. And to access the disaster legal hotline, you can call 866-550-2929. Thank you so much for all of this great information today, Kathy. If there's not anything else you'd like to add, we just want to let everyone know that this video, there is one more thing that Kathy wants to add today.
I did want to make sure that if you're denied assistance because maybe they don't think that your house was damaged enough or what you're asking for, then you can provide, and you should provide, additional documentation. For example, if it's your house and you've had a contractor come and look at it and they've given you an estimate, but you didn't have that at the time of the initial application, then you should send that on along. Or if you've discovered something that maybe wasn't discovered initially and you have pictures or other information about that, you should definitely send that on along to them. And sometimes if you call about your application, it may say, or they may tell you, or you may see something that says your application has been withdrawn. And that again is what I talked about earlier. Maybe it's not withdrawn, it's that they've tried to contact you and they haven't been able to get in touch with you. So it's important to not just file your application and then forget about it. Continue to check on it. One other thing on filing an appeal that I meant to say is you can file appeal on your own, but you can also get an attorney to assist you with that appeal. But if you can't get an attorney and you're not comfortable just going on your own, if you go to a website called disasterlegalaid.org, there is an interactive FEMA appeal tool on there. And so you just go to a computer or someplace where there is internet and fill out that application there. And then you can just download it and print it and fax it or mail it to FEMA. And remember that libraries are a great place for you to go to have access to a computer and to be able to print documents. And so I think I've covered it all, except just to remember 60-day deadline. So don't forget that. And December 1st is your deadline for your initial application.
All right, and can you give us that website one more time? That has, what was that website one more time?
Yeah, it's disasterlegalaid.org.
Okay, awesome. That sounds like a really great resource that people can use as part of the application process. So thank you again, Kathy, so much. This is great information. We really appreciate you tuning in to learn more about FEMA applications and appeals. Just so everyone knows that's watching, this video provides legal information and should not be considered legal advice. This video does not create an attorney-client relationship or substitute advice you've been given. You may have defenses we haven't discussed here, so seeking out an attorney or legal help is always advisable. For more information about Legal Services of North Florida, go to www.lsnf.org or call 850-385-9007. So thank you again for joining us, Kathy, and everyone else, and we'll see you on the next clinic.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.